guys, welcome to my channel. It's Andrea and welcome back to Wearing Your Art in Your Sleep. I hope everybody's doing good. So today I am part of a collaboration and I'm kind of doing something a little different than what they're doing because I actually did a piece and did a video and I got done ready to edit it and it just was all over the place. It was chopped, it was so much of it. It's like it didn't videotape completely and I was like, oh no. So it's crunch time. So today is actually Wednesday and the video will be on, the collaboration will be on tomorrow night. And I have the privilege and honor of being with two of the most amazing people and artists. There's so many out there. Lori from Artlore, she was on right before me. She does the most amazing blooms. I love watching her. She's been an inspiration for me. And she's a sweetheart. She's just an absolute beautiful person. And I've had the privilege of talking to her and actually video chatting and trying to get this all together. So that was exciting for me. And also after me is Flute Art Simona. She is like one of my best friends in the whole world. She is just the kindest, sweetest person, and she's so talented. So make sure you stay tuned after this to watch Flute Art because she is just amazing. And I was going to say save the best for last, but you watch the best first and I get to watch the best last. And so what I thought I would do today, I'm going to show you the piece that I had, that I worked on. But today what I thought I would do is, you got two people doing the bloom, so I thought I would show you the colors we're using. Well, not exact colors. We had to do our own representation because it was a color challenge, color challenge collaboration. And so the colors that we had, Lori picked them out, and Simone and I were like, oh, because browns and reds are not really my jam. I use them on occasion, but they're like not, you know, something I would use as a main color. And her and I were both okay. And you know what? I'm so thrilled. You know, see, it just goes to show you, don't knock it till you try it. And even if it doesn't work out, keep trying, you know, tweak it and whatever. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. And I'm going to show you what I use. Measurements. I'm just going to mix up one pigment because the rest applies for the tubes and all that, with a couple of exceptions. Now we all have different variations of the colors that she chose, and also the way they mix their paints. They use different products, I'm sure, but the principle is the same. So what I'm going to show you is what I do, and they pretty much do the same. They may have a little bit of different ratios, but the recipe's basically, you know, universal. So anyway, before we start, I wanted to show you the piece I did for the collaboration. It came out not too bad. I mean, I was scared. I was like, oh no, but it came out not too bad. So my camera does not pick up colors very well, so I apologize. But I'm looking at it and it's not too bad. I've got the colors here, the turquoise. I'm going to go through the colors with you. Turquoise, gold, coral, brown, and red. And the brown has a red tint to it, and the red has a little brown tint to it. So yeah, it was kind of, wow, okay. But I'm glad we did it. So, and my cell activator, I used two. I used a black and a turquoise. So, yeah, I'm kind of pleased with it. You know, I have far to go before I even get near as good as them. But I am really pleased with this, and I still have to varnish it. I might tweak a little bit of embellishing because I love embellishing as much as I love painting. So, and add a little touch-ups here and there. But other than that, it's like, I don't know if you can see it okay. Hold it back. Well, there you go. Yeah, it actually is really gorgeous. It's just, like I said, my camera is like kind of weird when it comes to picking up color. So, anyway, we'll get started. So, here's the color combos. You guys have probably saw these already. We've got turquoise, and this is Josiana's Aqua, mixed with a little bit of turquoise by Rolio Pigments, and I'll get into that about the pigments. Yep, this is the color, and this is the consistency. Now, everybody has their consistencies a little different, so what I'm showing you is just my version. You know, they can do it a little, they do it a little different. I tend to like it a little, tiny bit on the thicker side, but not too thick. It's like a 3-second trace. Kind of, I watched Lisa Marvin, and she had a really good instructions on what to look for. So it could be a tad bit thinner, but see, when you do this, I'm sorry, when you do this, you see 1, 2, 3, and then that little trace disappears. So got that color. Now this is what I'm going to be making up today because I am almost out. This is a coral, and this is by Rolio, and I'm going to be making some more up. A beautiful shimmer to it. Yeah, I'm almost out of that, so that's what I figured I'd do. And then this is gold. This is TLP's Harvest Gold. Actually, most of it is Turmeric Gold by Rolio pigment, and I had a little Harvest Gold in there by TLP. And I think a little golden too, the two paint. So there's your gold. I'm sorry, I'm holding it back here. I gotta kind of watch what I'm doing. Now this brown, is brown. It's a pigment by Mad Micas, and it's also Brownie from Rolio, and that brown from Mad Micas is called Magic Bean, and it's got a green and red like tint to it. And I don't know, you probably can't really see it well, but maybe you can see a little bit of the green. I don't know, it's hard to pick up, but yeah, this is a beautiful brown. Now this is like not my jam, but it's becoming my jam. Yeah, it really is. And then last but not least, this is red. This is Crimson Red by Montmartre Paint. I found that in like a kind of like a, not a dollar store, a little higher up, but they had tubes of that paint for $2. So I got this, and then I added a touch of the brown. And then with the brown, I didn't really need to add anything because it had the red tint already. So those are our colors. So, and what I'm going to be using is a little mix of these. This is by Rolio. I'm trying to hold these upright. Rolio pigments. This one is Coral Rose, and this one is Salmon Pink. So I kind of want an orangey, more orangey than pink, but I want a little pink to it too. So they both look a little orange, yeah, as you can see in there, but we're going to put a little bit of each in and mix those up. So, and by the way, here's the Rolio pigments. I've got like 4 sets, and I actually took them out and put them all by color. So as you can see here, I will show you the original set. This is what I started off with actually, but I don't have them in there like I should. But it comes with 24 different colors. You get 20, and I think it's like $23 on, if you go to RolioPigments.com. Amazon has it too, but you can get 10% off your order if you go on their website. And like I said, there's 24, and these are just some of the colors. I did all the reds and purples together. They are just the absolute most gorgeous colors. And when you're starting out, this is the way to go. It's very reasonable. You don't need a lot. They mix well. I highly encourage you to check it out. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to mix up a pigment, and this is how we mix up, how I mix up all my paints and how we do it, but they do it with the different recipe and consistency. And that's the main thing. The consistency is the most important thing. You have to have them all the same consistency. If one's thicker than the other, they're not going to all run in the same, blowing them out. And you will be able to see them working their magic, and now you have this to kind of know how they got to that. So, okay, so we start off with a pouring medium, which is made up of 2 different products, and this is the first one. Now a lot of the artists use Behr 8300, which is a high gloss. I use Behr 3300. This is a semi-gloss. I don't want too much gloss because I've learned from different ones who have taught me that, and I did see it for myself, that too much gloss, for me, my cells go a little, they don't hold together very well. Some gloss is good for me. That, some others use high gloss, a lot of gloss, and it works for them. This is just what works for me. So I use that, 2 parts of that. So it could be 2 tablespoons, 2 cups, 2 whatever, okay? To 1 part of, this is new. I didn't know they had this. It may not be new. I just never saw it. This is Behr Premium Polyurethane Semi-Gloss. Now, they have the high gloss, clear gloss, but I like the semi-gloss. So I have some gloss, but not overkill, where my cells start to go ice skating. So I use 1 part of that to 2 parts. So in this case, I used 1 full cup, which would have meant 2 half cups, 2 parts, to a half cup of the gloss. And this is what I got, is this. it's a nice creamy, I don't have a spoon here. Let me get this cleaned up. It's a nice creamy consistency, and it looks white, right? It looks white, but here's a good test you can do, and I learned this trick from an artist. So, if you're ever shopping for that untinted house paint, it has to be untinted, not white, deep base, okay? If you do the number, you'll be safe. So, you put a little bit on your finger because it looks white, and you're like, ooh, that's going to lighten my colors up. Well, it honestly won't. And you see the white. So here's the test you do. You rub it between your fingers, and it dries clear. That's how you know. I've tested a couple other ones that I thought were going to be good, and they were like chalky white. So you stay away from that. So this I use for my tube paints. I just use that for my tube paints. My pigments, because I disperse my pigments with the Behr, okay? I disperse all my pigments with that a little bit. I'm not going to need any more varnish, the polyurethane. So I have a little separate container with just that Behr 3300 only. Okay, so this way, that one that's 2-to-1 is for my tubes that don't get any gloss or any varnish at the beginning versus this. So what we do, and I put these in little squeezy bottles to make life a little bit easier for me. So, oh, and then to thin it out, I forgot about that. So normally your paints are going to be a little on the thick side. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they are. The tubes will be, the pigment says sometimes. So what I do for thinning it is this, and I know a lot of the artists use more varnish or thin flow medium. I use this. This stuff is the best stuff. I've experimented and used this over and over, and this is just like floetrol, American floetrol, except this looks like Windex water. So I said, well, I'll give it a try. It's the exact same thing. It's latex paint additive and extender, and it's good for acrylics. So it's good for your paint, actually. This, I mean, I could disperse this in my pigments, and it would be fine. So this is what I use to thin, and you can get this at Lowe's or Home Depot for like around $10 or $11 for a whole quart of it. So, yeah, this is good stuff, and it lasts a while. So that is my thinning agent for any paint that I have to thin out. Yeah. So how about that one? That's pretty cool, and it works fantastic. But you use what you're comfortable with. If there's something else you like, so to get started, I should be worth. Look at me, I got marker. That's the other thing I do is embellish, and I'll show you my painting I did after. What we're gonna do is just show you this. Okay, this is the Coral Rose. Yeah, that's a little orangey. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put like half of that in there. And what I do is this baby spoon here, this is a little baby spoon I got off of Amazon, a set of spoons. I use kind of like a heaping spoon of that for my pigments, okay? Anytime I do them, okay? So I put a little bit of that in a cup, and I get these cups at the dollar store. They're awesome. It's like a pack of 12 for $1.25. By the way, dollar store is now $1.25. It doesn't fit anymore, does it? Okay. Okay, so that's that. And now I'm going to add half of the what I got? Salmon pink, yeah. God, I forgot already. Jeez, look at me. How'd you guys like Lori's video? It was awesome, wasn't it? That woman can paint. My God. I'm just so in love with all of her work. And she's such a nice person, too. So, there goes the other half of that. So, that's about what you want in there. A nice heaping teaspoon of, don't be afraid to use a little more. It's not going to hurt anything. In this case, more is better than less. Okay, so now I'm going to take my varnish. And the varnish looks a little cloudy, but no worries, it is not going to diminish the color. So we're going to pour just enough in there to kind of make sure we don't have this thick paste, but we don't want like complete soup. We just want it to be, and you can add a little more if you don't think that's enough. And you got to mix it, mix it, mix it. And mix it slow. As Lori says, don't whip it, don't beat it. That's what I learned from her too. We get in a hurry and we just don't want to sit here and mix for an hour. Oh, look at that color. Isn't that pretty? Now, guys, if you want to, if you like, ooh, you know, I'd like to have a little more bling to it or a little more shimmer. They have interference pigments. They have gold. You know, you can add a little gold pigment to it as well. Never be afraid to experiment, because all it does is enhance the color. So I don't want to take too long doing this, but so you're just going to mix it and mix it and mix it. Just nice, even. You don't have to go super slow, but don't whip it, beat it. Especially now, because I know Lori's watching. I'm like, I don't want to be whipping these while she's watching. I don't do it anyway. Yeah, she's so thorough with her instructions. And Simona too is like, her and I, we paint. Maybe twice a week, but definitely once a week. We get together in video chat and we paint. And this woman does only big canvases. And she's the one who got me out of being scared to do a bigger one. Now I don't do small ones anymore. All because of her. Don't be afraid, darling. Go for it. Yep. She's like one of my best cheerleaders. And I have another best friend named Roxanne Bolton. She actually was on the video we did. They were both on there cheering me on. And I was so sad, but yep, and my friend Roxanne too. We have paint night every Thursday night. It's like awesome. Yep, that's what it's about. I've never met two more kinder, sweet people in my life. And the fun part is what we do is we all, we get new pigments, we get new products. We all make sample boxes and send each other the stuff we don't have. So I never really have to go shopping. Although I do, but don't tell anybody. Okay, so there you go. That is really good. You don't see any granules or anything. Like I said, these pigments mix up beautifully. So that's done. So now we're going to add the Behr only without the varnish. Okay, so I don't really measure. I just do like Lisa Marvin, bloop bloop. Okay, let me see if I can. I'm using a measuring spoon because I forgot to bring any more spoons. Yeah, always mix up your stuff or shake it before you use it. I should have said that, but that's all right. Well, since I have the measuring spoon in here, we'll do 2. Okay, we'll start off with 2. Okay, and this stuff kind of gets thick as it sits, so we're definitely going to have to thin it out. Yeah, a little bit at a time. You don't want to put the whole bunch in it at one time. You know, this is a delicate process, mixing up pigments. You see that? My color hasn't changed. It's still so vibrant. I can add more. So I'm probably going to just add like 1 or 2 more because I don't want to fill it up. I try to only make enough paints for 3 or 4 paintings, and that's about it. So, okay. So I think that's going to be good. That's going to be perfect, actually. So put that there. Okay. So now we're going to mix it up slowly. No whipping, no beating. Yeah. So now look at, that's thick. That's just too thick, right? So now we're going to take our M1 and we're going to just start pouring it in there. And don't worry thinking you put too much in. If it's a little too thin, I wouldn't add, you know what, if you made it too thin, it's a little bit too soupy, let it sit for about an hour, and I guarantee when you come back, you're going to have what you want instead of adding more and more and more. Just wait, and if an hour goes by and it hasn't, then add a little bit more of the Behr 3300. That's all you have to do. Yeah, this stuff incorporates. See, now it's still way too thick, so, but I just try to do a little at a time. I don't want to go overboard. Hope you guys can see this okay. Yep, this is, it's one of my favorite parts, is putting the colors together and watching the colors just come alive. It's like, oh, especially pigments. Yeah, I'm addicted to pigments. I suffer from OCD, obsessive creative disorder. So I think this might be good. I do like them. You may see some that have them super thin. Yeah, see how it nicely runs off the spoon and it disappears. That is perfect. Could be a tad bit thinner because I know it will probably thicken up as it sits, but that's okay. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous color. Yep, Rolio's got some beautiful pigments, guys. You really should check them out. I apologize if I've been off the camera. I'm trying to remember to keep it focused and let you guys see. See? There you go. Okay. So now I'm going to add the rest of this pigment in. And that was a little on the thin side. I got a little thin sitting, but that's okay. That'll kind of even everything out. Yep. See, now the shades are a tad different because it's not going to always be the same, especially when you're customizing your color. I think I got plenty of coral now. So there you go. Okay, and that's all there is to it, guys. And the two paints, you're going to put some of the mixed up 2 to 1 in a cup, then squirt like a big teaspoon, like a teaspoon of paint, not the baby spoon, regular teaspoon, and mix it in. And if you feel the color is still too late, add a little more. Okay, then I add the varnish. After I mix that in, I add a little varnish, mix it. And then if it's too thick, which it probably will be, you add your M1, that stuff that looks like Windex. Yep, and that's all there is to it. Same for fluid paints, like if you've got like a high fluid paint, if just a few drops in your pouring medium will do it. So, and that's all there is to it, guys. I mean, it's really simple. So, yep, and so these are my colors for the collaboration. And so now I'm just going to show you quickly my cell activator. I have in these little bottles, it's this is part of what you see them use. The cell activator, it's made with Australian floetrol, or you can make it with American. There's different versions out there. I prefer this. Sorry about all the messy paint on my stuff. I prefer this because it does create cells a little better, although my friend Millie gave me a recipe for the American version, and I tried it with not Amsterdam paint is usually the paint of choice that artists use, oxide black, lamp black, but what I use now is that I found to work, make my cells go much better, is Tri-Art paint. This is Payne's Gray, which is like a blue. I mean, if you look at it, I don't know if you can see it, it looks black, but it's such a dark blue that it almost looks black. Yep, I love this. This is my favorite color. Yep, so that's what I do, is I take the Australian floetrol and I mix 3 parts, so usually 3 teaspoons or 3 tablespoons to 1 tablespoon of the paint. Now, I know a lot of artists are starting to use this and they say it's too thin. It's just they have to add more paint, more paint, more paint. So I was like, oh. So what I did was I did the 3 to 1, and I was like, okay, the Mars, like, it was a little thin. So I was going to add more, and then I walked away, and an hour I came back, and it was thickened up to the perfect consistency. So that was for me. It may not be that way for others, but I know that it works. I left it alone, and it was fine. This is the Payne's Gray. I did 3 to 1, and I found that this was perfect consistency for me. So, yep. And I can already tell that it's the right, because it's sounds like warm honey versus water, or not warm honey, a little bit thinner, like cream, So yeah, that's all I use, the 3 to 1. And this is how we mix our paints. Like, everybody's different, but same kind of process. So I hope this was helpful, guys. I really do. Anyway, guys, that's it. And I hope it was helpful. I just thought this would be a little something different and neat to do, so that you get the best of these 2 amazing artists, their work, and then I can kind of show you how we go through the process of making all this stuff. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And up next is Fluart Simona. Simona is my, I love this woman. Please watch her, show her some love, subscribe to her channel, and I'm sure Artlore you have. She's just, oh, she's amazing, guys. So anyway, guys, Simona's up next, and everything I have, I'm going to try to remember to put in my description so you guys know what I use and all that good stuff. And don't forget Roleo. If you get a chance, go look on their site. It doesn't cost anything to do that. Go look on their website and check out their beautiful pigments. Oh my God, they're just heavenly. So anyway, guys, until next time, I hope you all have a great day, have a great weekend, and I will see you when I see you.